Hello, good morning, and happy Saturday. I'm Megan Mays, and I'm the owner of Mays Law. And I come here every Saturday to talk about family law issues and things that happen in district courts and what the process is and what the process is not. This is not a place for legal advice. This does not make me your lawyer. This is just for legal information, free resources. I think there's a lot of great information out there. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I come here every Saturday to talk to people about questions they have about family law and the court system. Hi, good morning. Got some people jumping on here, so please say hello in the comments and let me know if you have any questions today. Today we're going to talk about temporary orders. One of the questions I get a lot when I do free consultations is, how long is this going to take? Well, the answer to that, unfortunately, it really depends. It depends on how motivated you are. It depends how motivated the other person is. It depends on the court's calendar. And unfortunately, there are some people out there that do want to drag out the process. So that can be very frustrating if you're in a situation where you need to have your life stabilized if it's going to take 2 years or more. Now, that doesn't have to be every case. 2 years does not have to be every case. I'm divorced, and my ex-husband and I, we did our divorce in less than a month. And because we were both on the same page and we wanted to make it as easy as we could for our kiddos, and for us that was the right call, and not everybody is ready to move forward like that. So if your case is going on for a long time, what can you do about it? Well, you can ask for a temporary order. If you're in the middle of a divorce or a custody case, you can ask for a temporary order on things like custody. Who will be making the medical school religious decisions on a temporary basis until things can get resolved later on down the road? Well, what if somebody gets custody? Can it ever be changed? Absolutely. That temporary order only remains in full force and effect until it is modified or vacated or there's a final decision by the court. Other things it can do is address temporary spousal support, temporary child support. There are some additions being added to the law in August of this year, and I'm happy to cover those if anyone has any interest. There are things that a temporary order cannot do. One of the things that it's not allowed to do is completely cut off parenting time from another parent. Now, that is sort of the start, but a court may restrict time, location, duration for custody and parenting time as it sees necessary to protect the safety of the family. So while you can't do it necessarily, there are exceptions when there is, lethality, meaning lethal. I use the term high lethality a lot. There's some factors that go into cases that they've studied about what makes a case more likely to have indicators of potential lethality. And so if those are present, then a court may restrict that. There are supervised parenting time centers. There are third-party private pay supervisors. There's aunties and uncles who are willing to do it. It doesn't have to be one specific thing. There's a lot of discretion that is left to the judges in making these kinds of decisions. They can address who has temporary possession of the home. But again, these are not intended to oust a parent from a home unless there are reasons to do so. I live in southern Minnesota. Hey, Rusty, good morning. And we've been having a lot of water flooding. As you can see, I'm coming at you on location from my house, and that is because my office still has water damage. There may be some lethality reasons why temporary possession of a home should be awarded to one party over the other. Maybe one party needs to go into the home and make improvements, or they have two homes. That can certainly be a situation, and so there can be reasons, and parties can agree. If you are saying, look, we've got some complicated factors here, we've got a lot of property that we need to value and just make sure we're on the same page, and that can't get done in a month. If you have to get an appraiser, you have to agree on an evaluator, maybe you have competing evaluators. Ugh, gross. But that happens, and that is kind of why these temporary orders are an option to stabilize the situation as it progresses. We have, 50, 60, 70-year marriages sometimes, and so that's a lot of information to consider when issuing a final order. The court can also grant temporary attorney's fees, temporary spousal support. So it doesn't always have to, you don't always have to be in limbo. How you get a temporary order is you would file a statement, which is also called an affidavit, and a motion where you tell the other party what you're going to ask the court to do, and then that gets served, sent, given to the other party. And there are rules that require certain steps to take place in order for it to be properly served. And then the court or either party could say, yes, I'd like to go forward just on the documents, or no, I'd like an opportunity to be heard. And the court can then hear the parties if they want. Most motion hearings are going to be 30 minutes or less. If you think you need more time, if you want to have the court hear from the parties or from yourself, when you schedule your motion hearing, it can be very important to let the court know how much time you might need for the hearing, because sometimes the court will only give 15 to 30 minutes for these temporary motion hearings. I hope that parties are able to come to some sort of temporary arrangement. It can be really helpful. Courts want the 3 S's: safety, stability, and security for kiddos. And so this is one way to do it if you're not able to come to an agreement on your own. So if you weren't able to join me live today, that's not a problem. If you have follow-up questions on temporary orders, what you can ask for or what you can't ask for, go ahead and add them in the comments. Thank you, everybody who has joined the Facebook group Being Civil in Minnesota so far. If you know somebody who has questions about family law related issues or questions about district court, ask them in that group, and I will see you guys next Saturday at 10. Take care, everybody.